CESG is the Canada Education Savings Grant. It's something that your child starts accumulating as soon as they're born. It grows by $500 per year per child, even up to $600 per year per child, depending on your income level. And there's a lifetime limit, maximum of $7,200 per child. In this video, I'm going to explain to you how you can get the maximum amount of CESG, so stay tuned. Hi, I'm Julien, Regoli, CPA, CMA, finance coach. I feel financial freedom is really important because it means freedom to live your vocation. I also think that financial freedom is attainable before the age of 65 if you have the right mindset, you got the right discipline, and you're willing to work at it. My purpose is to help people gain control of their finances so they can reach financial freedom more rapidly. If this is the kind of thing that interests you, then sign up to my channel and hit the bell button. You'll be notified whenever I upload new videos. Thanks in advance for watching. Okay, CESGs. Let's get right to it. Here's some facts. Between 1998 and 2006, the accumulated amount is $400 per year per child, and it went up to $500 per year per child as of 2007. Again, if your income level is below a certain level, you're allowed to $100 more. So it goes from $500 to $600. The lifetime limit per child is $7,200, and the maximum amount of CESG you can get per year is $1,000 per child. So after age 17, no more grants are paid. If you start when your child is age 15, certain conditions apply in order for you to get grants at age 16 and 17. If you start taking money out of your RESP account before your child is enrolled in a post-secondary education program, you're going to have to refund the grants back to the government. So how do you get the maximum amount of grants? The best thing to do is to open an RESP account the year your child is born and add $5,000 per year to that account. Some of you have started maybe later. Your child is 10 years old, you don't have an RESP account. I've developed what I call the CESG Max calculator. It determines how much you should contribute per year to make sure you get the maximum amount of grants. The next part of the video will explain how to use that calculator. And by the way, folks, you have access to that calculator. You can find it by clicking on the link in the video description. Okay, so this is the grant calculator. How much you need to deposit every year to get the maximum amount of grants and or the maximum out of the RESP program. So you start by putting the child's age here. So say you're start with age 0. This is the grant room that the federal grant room that your child has at age 0. It's $500 per year. So starting age 0, so there it is. If you put 1 here, it'll be 1,000, right? So starting age 0, and here is if ever you're starting today and already have deposits to date and some grants received to date and you have the RESP value, you can calculate as of today's value that you need to contribute today going forward to max out in the program. So, so here you have it. Assuming your child is 0, you haven't started yet, they have $500 in room, they have the maximum amount of grant they can get is $7,200. And in order to get maximum benefit of grants, you need to put a minimum of $2,000 in deposits per year in your RESP. That means it's going to attract $400 of grant, and this is what it means per month. And by the time your child is age 18, assuming a 4% return, this is the amount of this is the value of your RESP when your child turns 18. And assuming you want to take advantage of the full RESP program, meaning you're going to put more deposits, even though
like I said, at $36,000 of deposits, you're going to get grants. Beyond that, you're not going to get any grants, but the government allows you up to $50,000 of deposit in RESP. So assuming you take advantage of that, that would mean deposits of $2,778. That'll attract $556 of grants per year, and per month, that's what it means, $231. And at the age of 18, your child's the RESP value will be $85,000. So, assuming you're starting late, let's say your child is age 5, you haven't started yet, this is the scenario. So you got to put more money per month to max out the grants, and obviously more if you want to get the maximum out of RESPs. And you can see that the RESP values go down. So we had before, if we had 0, we had 61, but if you delay that by 5 years, you're down to 55. So obviously, the earlier you start, the better. And this area here is if every year, let's say your child is 5 and you have, you've made, let's say, $2,000 of deposits to date, and there's grants of $400 that you received, and your RESP value is $3,000. This tells you, the calculator tells you how much you need to deposit per year minimum in order to get the maximum amount of grants. And this is how much you need to deposit minimum to maximize the amount, to get the max out of the RESP program. So here you have it. Play around with it. You can get access to this calculator by clicking on the link in the description of the video.
If you don't have enough money to max out on your TFSA and your RESP, and you're debating where do I put my money, the RESP or the TFSA, I would recommend put it in the RESP. The reason is that when you deposit money in the RESP, you will get grant money. So you put $5,000 in RESP, you'll get $1,000. That's 20% of your deposit in federal grants, not to mention the provincial grants that you'll get also, depending on the province you live in. Whereas the TFSA, you won't get any grant when you deposit money in there. The beauty of the TFSA is you can take money out pretty much any time, and you can even replenish it as of the following calendar year. So look, if you don't need that money, then I suggest put it in your RESP. If you're debating between the RESP and RRSP, this one's a little trickier because they both give you a benefit when you deposit money in these accounts. In the RESP, you have grants, and in the RRSP, you have a tax break. And if you have to choose between the two, it really depends on where you are in your life. When will you need access to the RRSP funds versus the RESP funds? So it's a difficult call, but if I was to generalize, I would say the RESP is a better way, just because of the withdrawal mechanism. First of all, you can withdraw your original contributions out of the RESP at any time. It's your money and you can take it tax-free. The investment income and grants are taxed, but it's taxed at a lower rate because it's taxed to your child. Your child is the one who has to declare that portion of the RESP withdrawal in their income tax return. And usually the child is in a low tax bracket and probably will not have to pay any taxes, or if they do have to pay taxes, it would be a very little amount of money. Versus when you take money out of the RRSP, it's taxed at your full tax rate. That can be much higher than your child when they take out RESP money. To make sure you make the right decisions, I would talk to your financial advisor. You could book a one-on-one with me. We can go through your situation, and we can determine what's the best strategy for you. If you're debating between TFSA or RRSP deposits, I have a video on that, so make sure to take a look at that. It explains to you some of the key differences between these two programs and when it makes more sense to put money in one versus the other. So make sure to take a look at that video. I hope this video was useful for you. If you liked it, thumbs it up. It helps me out with SEO and all that good stuff. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the area below the video. So there you go, folks. Thanks for watching today, and we'll see you real soon.